All right, we are back. Phase 3, Day 1. Union versus Opportunist boosted AI. If you've seen the other two videos, I had a pretty good early morning on July 1st. Took some losses, but ultimately held my ground. Rebels took Oak Hill, and I hurt them pretty bad casualty-wise. But Phase 2 was a little bit different. I held on pretty well towards the end of the day, and then my lines collapsed. They took everything except for Cemetary Hill, so now my army is pinned on Cemetery Hill. We got good defensive positions here, but I think this is it. Based on the briefing here, it says we cannot fall back any further. We must make a stand. So I think this is do or die. If I can hold this ground and maybe even take some ground, I don't know. I might be pushing it here. We'll see day 2, and that's what I'm hoping for. So we can get the rest of this Army of the Potomac up here and take these fights to the rebels. So let's see what we can do. So, my units are pretty weak. When you look at Iron Brigade, they've lost about 900 men. I'm gonna need reinforcements, or I'm gonna fold pretty quick. You know, I've stung the Confederates pretty good too. You can see Gordon here, Davis. Scales, Avery, some of these brigades that they have are hurt too. So, but they got some pretty strong brigades still with Pettigrew, Daniel, Ramsier, and the Tigers. So right now it's not looking good, even though the numbers are about even, and I have a pretty good defensive position. I'm gonna have to position some cannons. Some artillery. So right now I only have enough men to basically hold my position here, but the way they're moving right now, I mean, they got Thomas coming over here, Smith's moving down, Gordon's moving down. We got all this artillery moving to my flank. You know, I basically have no flanks. I need a lot of men right now to keep these guys in check. So I have to make a choice if I split my forces here, if I decide to put all my strength on the one flank or the other. My right flank probably is my best opportunity to counter this Confederate attack. So I think I'm gonna just make a go for it here. I don't know what kind of reinforcements I'm gonna get, if any, at this point. Because like I said, I usually don't play the boosted AI, and I typically don't get this far back on the map. I'm gonna bring Schimmelpfennig over here so I can at least make a left flank defensive line. While I try to roll up their left flank up here on the right. got Daniels coming up the front here, and Iron's gonna get hit pretty hard. So I'm gonna pull him back and let Krzyzanowski take the brunt here. Von Gilst is breaking. Canister fire is going to be my best friend here, and make these guys pay as they advance. So my lines are pretty weak. So what I'm hoping here is if I can keep this left flank of my center intact while I bring these reinforcements up. Unfortunately, the rebels are bringing reinforcements to where I'm bringing reinforcements. So my plan to roll up their flank and save my center is in jeopardy. But I'm gonna have the high ground here. Center's going to be threatened here in a second, especially if they start charging like they're doing. I'm gonna bring Standard up. I think Atwell will do a pretty good job defending over here if Thomas decides to advance. A single brigade against our, covered artilleries. They'll usually break. I mean, they won't suffer too many casualties, but they'll fall back, and I just need to keep them away from rolling up my flank. So I'm gonna try and use Kane, which is a 3-star brigade, and Green is on 1-star, but I'm gonna start rolling up this flank here, see what I can do. And Thomas is on the move, so that's the AI is pretty smart here. They see me pulling back Standard, and Thomas is starting to advance, so Switch hot well to canister. Kins to shell. And see if I can hold them back. Get some heavy fighting going on here in the center. Tigers are getting mauled, thankfully. My center is about to collapse. Doing pretty good over here. So I thought Candy's pull these guys back on the hill, give them a height advantage. Culp's Hill, very good defensive point. Unfortunately, I got all my all the Confederates are pushing at me in the center. I put Smith here on hold. It's kind of a desperate last stand measure to allow them to take greater losses to ensure they hold and stay in place and not run away. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like I'm going to get reinforcements anymore, and my only hope at this point is to make sure they don't take these victory points at whatever cost. So I'm putting everybody on hold. It's on the line up here, because can't afford to lose this battle. Nichols getting hammered, absolutely hammered with canister fire and rifle fire, so I don't think they're going to be taking Culp's Hill anytime soon. cost them a lot to take that. Their best bet is the center here, which pretty sure they could probably charge at this point and run me out of town. Grzanowski, the stone wall here actually gives them cover, 50% cover, which is great. I mean, it looks small on the map, but they do factor that into the cover, which is fantastic. I mean, I don't think people talk too much about the map, but they really did a good job on the map and setting up defensive areas that would normally just be eye candy in normal games, but in this, it's actually useful. Yes, Schimmelfennig back up here. Be alright here. I'm gonna bring Dougal down this way. And if you notice, these guys taking casualties, these units taking casualties, the game factors in, you know, the inaccuracy of these rifles. Obviously, that's why they're lining up by the hundreds to shoot at each other. So you'll see adjacent units or units nearby losing casualties too, even though they're not actually being targeted, just to factor in the chaos of battle and just how much ammunition's flying around here, as you can imagine. So my center's holding pretty good. Confederates don't really have the morale to charge. That may be why they're not pushing through here, and I am in a pretty good defensive position. But I've lost a lot of men defending this. And I've lost my venerable Iron Brigade. They actually got routed. And we may see a charge here now. Which I'm hoping I can contain. Smith is routing, so Dougal's going to be very important. Filling in this gap in a second, if I can hold this charge back. Even though Dougal's condition isn't too good. Desperate fighting going on right now. Yeah, my line is totally collapsed now. So, it's time to protect Culp's Hill. Cemetary Hill's down, which isn't too surprising. I need to try to reform my lines here as best I can. Not sure if that's going to be possible with these rebels charging at me. Turn around, Standard. Look behind you. Hold the ground. Kazanowski, hold it. Not break, men. Kinsey pushes back the attack, thankfully. This is some brutal hand-to-hand fighting up here. I put all my units on hold and some desperate chance that I can keep Culp's Hill. I'm severely outnumbered. They got fresh brigades coming at me. Culp's Hill goes down. Yeah, it does not look like I'm going to win the day here. reroute it off of Colb's. I don't think I'm gonna have enough time, but let me see if I can reroute. Yeah, I'm not gonna have enough time here. Guys are beat pretty bad. Can't stand and fight. And they have the defensive position, so I'll not be getting this VP back. Major defeat. I would say so. Losses are about equal, but it just didn't work out for me. You know, the carryover losses from the last scenario. I got hit pretty bad in the last scenario, and being able to hold that initial attack with my weakened brigades is a tall order. You know, there's a few different things I could have done differently in this map, especially with the reinforcements that came in, to try to maybe reinforce the center and push that main attack back, or at least hold it, and reposition more artillery to Culp's Hill, because they didn't really push for Culp's too hard until late in the map, late in the battle. So I probably could have got away with putting my lesser brigades up there with some artillery support, and brought in these reinforcements to the center, which made it able to hold that line a little bit longer, because it wasn't a terribly long battle, because it was the last phase of the day. You know, it was evenings. You know, you can see up here at the top it's 7:25 at night. So it was just a matter of hanging on as long as possible. But it looks like we have another chance here. So, you know, and I have not been in this position before, so this is interesting. These are all new maps for me. So we can counterattack. So this, you know, keep in mind this is day 2. You know, I had a portion of the total Union Army in day 1, so I'm getting all new divisions to fight with, and you know, so is the Confederates. But a whole new day begins now, because we have fresh troops on the battlefield. Obviously, I'm going to have enough to go on an attack now. I couldn't possibly attack with the units that I had from day 1. Which I'm sure they'll be in the mix, but you know, I couldn't sustain an attack even if they had full morale and condition to start the map. There's no way I could counterattack with just them. So a new day ahead. So I got to choose what I'm going to do here. I can counterattack, which I like to attack because you know, I don't like sitting waiting for the enemy to come at me, and that's pretty much what I've been doing for the whole first day. The Confederates been attacking, and I've been paying the price for it. So I kind of want to put them on the defensive this time. So launch a counterattack on the rebel right. This is probably a whole new map to fight on, separate from what we've been looking at. And yeah, so that's a new. Actually, I've played this map before a couple times as the Confederates. Um, but I'm really kind of stung, and as you can tell in my angry voice right now, is I want to take this fight back to the rebels. So that's what I'm gonna do. Till next time, later.